Hey everybody, this is Matt from Cincy Jungle. Today we are going to talk about third downs. The Bengals looked pretty good on offense this weekend, but not on third downs. They were 3 of 13 converting third downs. So we're going to go through it step by step, down by down, and talk about all 13 of these plays and why they were successful or not. As always, Chalk Talk is brought to you by Narragansett. It is Oktoberfest season. Make sure you grab a Narragansett Fest Märzen today. So the first third down situation came early in the game. After a run on first down and a short pass for 2 yards, on second down they faced 3rd and 3. All right, as you can see, the play ended with a sack. So let's go back to the wide shot. Right away, you see too high safety look. Okay, so right away, you're thinking cover 2 or some sort of version of cover 2. You get the motion. Man goes with the motion. Now, especially since it's third down, you might be thinking 2-man. It's a very popular defense on third down. So you're thinking 2-man. Another one to look for is the linebackers. Notice how this linebacker is directly in front of the running back. That's a good indication that that linebacker is in man with that running back. But here they actually tricked you, because that's the hole dropper. Okay, so they rock this guy down, and he's actually going to be man on the running back. Now, as we look to the routes, there's a place to go with this ball. There's an open receiver. It's pretty quick, and it's for a first down. All right, and it's right there on the whip route. They just don't have enough time. Okay, so they had number 2 on that whip. They just can't get him the ball. So what happens here? Watch the left tackle. He sets and he just leans a little bit. Right? Jonah Williams looks really good. Has had some really great flashes. But this is his third NFL start. And that guy gets by him. All right, now at the right tackle position, we've got an issue here as well. Hart sets. Eventually he gets beat there. It's not his guy that makes the play. But if Jones' guy didn't make the play, Hart's guy's probably getting there before Joe Burrow can get that ball off as well. So that's what happened on the first attempt. It was a 3rd and short. They looked to throw the ball, and they couldn't get the ball off in time. Not enough time in pass protection. Then on the next drive, they ended up going 3 and out. Burrow threw an incomplete pass on first down. Then we have the dreaded 2nd and long run. And that brought up 3rd and 7. Now the pressure is all over Burrow here, but he stands and delivers. And he gets that ball off. Unfortunately, it's just short of first down yardage. So why is that? All right, now John Sheeran did a great video on this too. You may have seen on Twitter. But it's all about sample, right? Watch sample. As he runs his route, we're going to have a mesh concept here. Okay? But there's just way too much space. So this guy's able to undercut the mesh. So really, these two need to come together. All right? And now, I don't know what their landmarks are. All right? The rules I was taught on this were that one person, usually the deeper person, sets the mesh point, and the other guy's got to get there. And he's got to come right underneath his shoulder. I'm not sure if that's the case here, in particular, since you're really trying to get the ball to the underneath guy. If you don't want his eyes at the tight end here, I would 100% understand that. But whatever it is, right, these two just aren't working together right. And that defender is like in no way impeded from running underneath that. So those two have to basically brush shoulders, right? It has to be real tight. And just a slight adjustment from that guy, right? And he'd be able to turn that upfield. And now he falls forward. I mean, he doesn't need much. but ends up being 2 yards short. He just needs a little bit more time to be able to make that catch and fall forward. All right, turn forward. Now we go into the second quarter. The Bengals ran the ball on first and second down. It netted them 3 yards. And then a Fred Johnson false start actually pushed them back even farther and put them in 3rd and 12. And then they ran the sprint out pass. So I get the thinking here. Okay. Burrow sacked on the first 3rd down. Burrow hit on the second 3rd down. Let's move the pocket. Okay. But remember, what is Burrow's superpower? What does Burrow does well? He sees the whole field. You're running sprint out. You take that away from him. And I like sprint out as a concept. I just don't think it makes a ton of sense for Burrow. I think a lot of you are probably looking at this and you're looking at the receiver up top. You're saying, hey, throw to that guy. You're not looking to him because he's running away. And if this was, a concept that's coming out of a drop back pass or a play action, not a sprint, he's staying in the pocket, maybe he looks back to something like that. But there's nothing there. He's tossing it away. All right, and this one we've all seen too many times as well. 3rd and 8, they did pass on second down here. And we've got a sack on 3rd down. Now, why is Drew Sample blocking Derek Barnett has been the big question. You see communication here, right? So what I believe happened is that Burrow saw this front. Now, it ends up being a 4-man rush. But if you look at the front right away, they're showing double A-gap blitz. Which means they're showing a 6-man pressure. You can't block that with 5. So I think Sample was supposed to be out in the route. Burrow brought him in. Now, is this the matchup you want? No, it is not. If they had a back in the backfield, I believe Gio's out here. But if they had a back in the backfield, what we've seen Burrow do a lot of the time is bring him up and put him in one of these A-gaps. So now you have a little bit better of a matchup there on one of the linebackers for the running back as opposed to Drew Sample on a defensive end. But I don't know if they're able to do that with Sample. Like, I don't know if it's in the offense, and I don't know if he was able to get Gio out of the route there. So I don't know if it's a flexibility thing or if it's just a mental thing on his part that he thought he needed protection, but he wasn't thinking about the matchups. I don't know. But I think he actually checked into this to try and help himself out. Jonas slides away, which is probably what his job is and whatever their protection was, because they were thinking it was going to be a 6-man pressure and that they needed to go 1-for-1. All right, so they played the field position game a little bit. Good Huber punt, good Erickson return, and got into a pretty good situation here. But now 3rd and 2, and they go back to the sprint out. I like the sprint out better here because at least they put the back out in front. But just look at the way the Eagles are. They don't have enough receiving threats over here. Look, they've got 3 for 2 on that. And all the backers are just flowing. There's no kind of blocking here. I mean, these guys aren't going to make the sack, but Burrow can't run either because these guys are, tracking it down. I mean, there's nothing there. The sprint out does not work for this team. All right, you ready for some good news? We've got 3rd and 2 after a pass on first down and a run on 2nd and 3 that only netted them 1 yard. They had 3rd and 2, come out and empty with the bunch. And look, the line's getting pushed back, but when you've only got to get 2 yards, they don't have to hold for that long. So what happens here? They get the completion. All right, we've got a bunch. Looks like the Eagles are playing it in man, which is not uncommon. And you got Tyler Boyd here in the middle. He just runs the arrow route right into the flat. Takes a second to sort out. He catches it. Boom, turn it upfield. All right, later on that same drive, we had a 1st down pass, a 2nd down pass, and then a 3rd and 6 situation. If you watch at the bottom, they hit Tyler Boyd. This is a good route by Boyd, but it's also a bad route by Boyd. All right, here's why it's a bad route, right? They basically, this isn't truly stacked, but they're basically stacking these guys, right? They're trying to create a pick situation. So right now, Boyd should just cut right underneath this thing, because that's the problem, right? These two guys together, this guy's going to have to go wide around it. So cut right underneath that thing, and you're open. But he doesn't do that. Fortunately, he runs a good route, and this guy takes a hard step to the outside, and he gets open anyway. So they tried to get him open with a concept, with a play call. He didn't really execute that properly, but he's a really good route runner, so he got himself open. Now, quick pass. They were able to get it off. There was some pressure coming from the 3 technique. All right, so that's something, again, you got to worry about. You got to account for in these situations when they're teeing off on third downs. But he gets the ball just fine. All right, so beginning of the fourth quarter, this is following the LaShawn Sims interception. Bengals drove down the field, got into the red zone. And at this 3rd and 10 play, all right, this is following, they tried another fade to Auden Tate unsuccessfully on first down. They ran the ball for no gain on second down, and then they went back to this play. Now, look, in this part of the field, I don't know why you're running the ball. Really, look, I get it on the goal line, you're running, you're trying to score. I get it at other places in the field, but we're on the 13-yard line here. So if Joe Mixon gains 4 yards on a run, which is good, it's fine. Now you're looking at 2nd and 6 from the 9-yard line. I mean, how much does that really change your play calling? I don't think you're really aiming for the first down there. You're still taking a shot at the end zone. If anything, it made the end zone a little bit tighter. So I don't really understand running the ball much in that area, unless it's, as after I tweeted this, somebody said something about a quarterback draw, and that I would be 100% down for if the situation, dictated it. All right, so let's look. Look, they're just taking a shot at Tate, and they're saying, hey, our guy's bigger than your guy, and, trying to get it up to him. The other one was a fade. This one's really a corner. He's coming from the slot, so they're trying to give him a different matchup. Trying to get him on a smaller slot defender. But again, they're just not hooking up on these plays. It's the same story with A.J. Green. So they've got to get in sync with some of these things and figure it out. All right? Because they're not able to make these plays. They're not hooking up on these things. And they've got these guys that we all say should be great red zone targets, and it's not coming to fruition. Now, the ball is thrown, so who knows what's going to happen here. But that's interesting, right? Maybe he shouldn't have been locked in over there. As I look at the number 3 receiver here running up the seam, I believe that's Boyd. A little hard to tell here, though. Moves like Boyd. All right, there the ball's thrown. But look, he's kind of breaking down that cushion. This guy's aimed the other direction. If you put a ball right in kind of there, let him run to it. I don't know. That might have a better chance. Incomplete, kicking a field goal. All right, score a touchdown there, you win the game. All right, so Mixon ran for negative yards on first down. They passed incomplete on second down, and then here we are, 3rd and 15. They go with the screen, and they actually execute it very, very well. This is their most explosive play of the year, 42 yards for Giovanni Bernard as we go to the tight here. We're going to see some good blocks. All right, this line hasn't done great with screenplays, but they do a good job here. Let's watch 53, Billy Price with the cut. We got Ethan Carter coming in here making a key block. You got Boyd getting in the way over there. Hey, look at those downfield blocks. You got Tate. You got Higgins blocking downfield. Geez, Higgins almost springs him for the score there. You got one guy to beat. All right, so that's a great job of executing. Now, they really dug themselves out of a hole there. And they kept the drive alive and they kept moving. And this is that same drive. But now they've hurt themselves once again. Okay? 1st and 9. Short pass for a yard. 2nd and 8. Sack. All right, now we have 3rd and goal on the 15-yard line. All right, not the situation that you want to be in here. Burrow actually has some time. They just can't make anything happen. They get decent protection. But look at, I mean, it's 3rd and 15. It's 3rd and goal on the 15. And nobody's running a route into the end zone. And, you know, it's not like we have like mesh concepts, guys running across the field where you hit them in stride, they can get something. You know, these aren't really necessarily the most rackable routes of all time either. Or maybe the best one you have is down here is T. Higgins. But even that, like, you get it in there, this guy's going to make that tackle. Most likely. So, I don't know what they're thinking here. But again, it's a field goal. All right? It's going to be a field goal. And that is going to be the field goal that gives them a 1-touchdown lead here in the 4th quarter. The Eagles are going to go down and score and tie it up and send it to overtime. So if you can figure out how to score here, you win the game. You just dug yourself out of a big-time hole with that screenplay when nobody was expecting you to make a play on 3rd and forever. And you come away with 3 points instead of 7. All right? You got to figure out a way to capitalize on that. And that brings us to overtime. 3rd and 4. First possession of overtime. Short pass to AJ. Too short to AJ. They're in an empty formation here. We've got all right protection. All right, guy gets in there a little bit late and gets a hit on him, but he's got enough time. And look, I mentioned before, Sheeran did a video on this, so check out John Sheeran on Twitter for that. But look, they're trying to do a mesh here, and they're really just not close enough. Rub shoulders, right? Like AJ actually kind of steps forward. He looks like he's trying to avoid hitting him. But he's got to come closer. He's got to force this DB to either go around or hit him. Let's just pause it right there. Okay? Now, what if this guy had to go around? What if that was tighter mesh and that guy had to go around? So maybe he's like here. Okay? AJ catches the ball. That guy's maybe here. Man, AJ rounds that corner. Whew. Like, it's going to be wild before those guys get to him. He's gonna gain some good yardage on that. He's getting well over the 50. You know, probably closer to the 45 or 40. All right, now you're not only getting that first down, you are pushing field goal range, which at the time would have made me angry because it was the first possession of overtime. But guess what? I mean, that would have potentially been enough to win the game, right? Because the Eagles didn't come away with the score on that next possession. So you're putting it back on your defense and giving them an opportunity. All right, we have a first down sack, although not much of one. A 2nd and 11 holding penalty on a pass attempt. And that brings up 3rd and forever. So, what are we doing here? We're trying to get the ball to T. Higgins. Okay. Stems it up straight, then tries to get out wide. Burrow trying to give him a ball he can make a play on. Not really able to connect there, though. It's an empty formation. 4-man rush. You got a little bit of time, right? Price's guy gets in there eventually. Gets the hit on the quarterback. He does have time to get it off, though. I don't know how much that affected him. You know, couldn't quite step into it, which could certainly affect the accuracy on that. But he's got a little time. All right, 3rd and 21. I mean, they're really able to tee off. They know you're not doing anything else. They know what the situation here is. Got to stay out of that situation. You got to block the game. This is the final 3rd down of the game. They're going to give the ball back to the Eagles. Eagles almost get the field goal. Some great gamesmanship by Darren Simmons and the special teams unit helps them to avoid that. But look, another empty look. They got Sample helping out, though, but this guy just blows right past Billy Price. I mean, they don't even have a shot. And, you know, when Zach Taylor's talking after the game about a 3 technique blowing right by and you don't have a chance, I mean, this is it. I'm not even looking at the routes because it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just 3rd and 16. You didn't have a chance. You didn't have any time to get to do something that's going to have any chance to turn this thing around. No bueno. So, they got to be better on 3rd downs. And we see that protection is a big time part of that. They've got to protect Burrow. They've got to give him some time. They've got to scheme up some things, particularly down in the red zone. Keep drives alive. Get drives in the end zone. Use these 3rd downs effectively. We saw a screen that was a big-time play for them. It's good that they are doing a little bit better with that now because that had been an issue with them. So hopefully they'll be able to continue and grow on that success. But, I mean, that's not going to be it. You know, they need to be able to protect the quarterback and convert in these 3rd down situations. You try and stay out of 3rd and long because it certainly is easier to convert when you can get the ball off fast. Anything less than 3rd and 6, you can throw the ball pretty quickly on. All right, and get that type of depth. All right, you at least got a shot at that. But past that, I mean, you need a little bit of time. You got to let those things work themselves out. So the lack of success on 3rd down definitely directly tied with the trouble from the pass protection standpoint. So I am Matt Minich for Cincy Jungle. This week's Chalk Talk brought to you by Narragansett Beer, as it is every week. I'm Matt Minich for Cincy Jungle. Who day?
Red 7, hot route!